My name's Jeff Black. Welcome to my presentation on human resource management at a local public high school. This is for Business 127, Human Resource Management, spring of 2026. Um, for the purposes of my job security and confidentiality, I'm not going to name the exact school, but I will say it's a public high school and it's located here in Bristol County, Massachusetts. Um, this is a school that I am very, very familiar with, a school district that I'm very familiar with, having worked there for close to 20 years. The industry, needless to say, is education. The school where I work serves approximately 1,000 students, grades 9 through 12. That number has fluctuated some over the years with a peak of maybe 1,300, and 1,000 is about actually the lowest that we have ever had. About 50 teachers, 20 paraprofessionals, 4 administrators, and a whole bunch of other people that really make the magic happen, so to speak. Support staff, cafeteria workers, custodians, etc. I've chosen this organization because it's one I'm super familiar with, and I have seen it change over time, although I will say not change that much. The specific topic that I'm going to be looking into today is employee motivation and engagement. So, how do we motivate educators in the public schools? So, one way they do it is really intrinsic motivation. Most educators, you don't become an educator to get rich by and large. You do it out of a love for teaching, a love for working with younger folks, or just students in general. Um, in a high school setting, obviously they're younger folks, but I think this might apply to higher education as well. And I would say many, if not most, public school districts certainly rely on this type of intrinsic motivation. So something you bring with you to the game. One specific thing that my school district does is we have staff shout outs. Now, it might not seem like much, but it's a way that from time to time we can get recognized for good work that we've done or some exceptional act that we have performed. On a weekly basis, there's a staff shout out memo that gets sent out on Monday mornings. Monthly, we have meetings where, exceptional events are celebrated, exceptionally good educational moments from our staff, and then newsletters, on an occasional basis will get sent out either by the superintendent or, other administrators within the school themselves. So all this public recognition is nice. Having received a couple myself over the years, it does feel good. We've also had given students the opportunity to give shout outs to their favorite staff members, which feels nice. It's nice to know that you connect with a kid in that way. So that's a very cool thing. Very motivating. There are opportunities for development in the district too. Um, Qualified teachers can create their own classes. I've seen this happen a few different times. We've had a class on sports history, a class on Russian history, a music class on the history of hip hop, and a new one starting next year on the impact that Taylor Swift has had on society um, and the music industry and business. So that seems like an interesting class right there. Coaching is another way that we can develop ourselves. Any of us paraprofessionals or teachers or administrators can coach, meaning sports coaching, and it's very challenging and very fun, and it does allow for the opportunity to coach outside as you develop those skills. You could coach for an independent organization or whatever. And there are, I will say, very limited, but there are opportunities for promotion as well, especially to the position of department head, or if you have the proper education into an administrative role. Well, what would make things better? Who wouldn't want to be paid better? Even if you enjoy your work, obviously, um, as I said, no one gets into education to get rich, but it is nice to be rewarded for what you do and to be able to provide for your family. And I will say, this is a fairly well-known fact. In America, in particular, teachers are pretty underpaid, especially in comparison to the amount of education it takes to be a qualified educator, mostly a master's degree or higher. And this is in sharp contrast to some other countries, such as Japan and Finland, where the situation for educators is much, much different, much, much better, I might say. So it's also nice to feel support. You'd like to know that administrators have your back, so to speak. This is a way that my district in particular could improve. There are times where teachers will bring an issue involving a student or a class to administration, and administration means, principals. From time to time, we don't get the support we would like on that. They either have a deaf ear towards the situation, or just don't handle it in a way that we feel supported. And this, in my particular district, I know this is not true for all districts, but from time to time, students, high school students need discipline when they break rules. And in our district, that's shortened supply. So it'd be nice to see a little bit more on that end, create a mutually respective atmosphere. So another thing that we could do, we have done some of this, but one thing that we could do a little bit better is opportunities to get together outside of work, staff meals, outings. This will allow us to connect as a group. Um, we're all putting our game face on, so to speak, when we're at work, but it'd be nice to be able to sort of let our hair down and have some fun outside of work and connect on a personal level more often than we do. It's more authentic in some ways, and I think it would be a lot of fun, really build the team. So my reflection on this class is human resource management is way bigger than I ever thought it was. I have to be honest. And I'm a older student, I guess. I've worked out in the business world, the real world, so to speak, for many many years, and I didn't realize how much the HR team does. So I'm grateful for what they do, um, and I'm going to be more appreciative towards them than I have been in the past. I think. Um, I'm going to change careers fairly soon, and this class will give me create some opportunities for me if I want to move into an HR role. So that's a very, very nice thing as well. So thank you for your time and interest, and thank you for a great class, and I really appreciate it. Have a great day. Thanks again.